Hey guys, Shot Monkey here. So another more bit of World of Tanks gameplay for you on the channel. This one's going to be a bit of a rare one because it's me playing artillery, and outside of the LEFH 18B2 I am not really a fan of artillery at all. It's not a playstyle that I particularly like, but I just thought for a one-off game down at tier 4 while I'm still platooning with the two friends that I've been platooning with quite a lot recently. I'd play a bit of artillery and just see what it's like and see what actual tech tree not OP artillery is like. And this was a pretty alright game, I think, in terms of my performance in this vehicle. And we're just going to add a bit of post-commentary. So you can see here that first shot I'm looking for is the looks, because there was nothing else spotted, but now because the M4 and Excelsior has moved up, we're going to look for shots into them. Of course, the fight for the hill on mines is usually a pretty major fight, so trying to help out there as much as you can is always beneficial, especially if you're in artillery. As you can see, it's a tier 4, tier 5 game, so we've not been up-tiered particularally badly, and there's only one heavy tank, no, there's more than one heavy tank, there's I think 2 heavy tanks per side on the team. They have this Excelsior that we're firing at here and an OI, and then we've got a T1 heavy tank. So yeah, you can see that both me and the other artillery on the team is trying to put fire into this T28 and the Excelsior that are attempting to hold the hill. See another shot there, continually getting splash shots, not doing amazing damage, but 98 points is certainly considerable. Now we're looking at the OI and the KV-1S moving on the flank, because we realise we've not got that much defence out there. It's the T28 at the moment. Of course, the pair of tank destroyers set on the usual location on the hill, off to my left over there. And there's very little else between me and that flank if it should break out at the moment. So I'm just going to back up as much as I can. Try to make use of those few bushes I've got in front of me and see if we can put some shots into these guys as they push around the corner now. And can't use the hill, at least not amazingly well for protection. See the OI gets a massive slap there from the two tank destroyers that start opening up. So he is regretting pushing forward quite that aggressively, down from 700 hit points to 234 in a very short space of time. That's certainly one way you don't want to advance around a corner in a heavy tank if you don't have support. Shot out on the KV-1S there, only does 38 damage. We landed near him and did some critical damage, but he got hit by a couple of other people there at the same time, which is why it might have looked more significant in terms of damage than it was. I was originally looking for a shot if that T28 moved up, but instead I take one of the KV-1S and it strikes the near corner of the building, so it doesn't hit him, or splash him for that matter. And yeah, at the moment I'm just speaking to the two guys that I'm in a platoon with. We're on Discord voice comms, so we're just chatting to each other. KV-1S is picked up by the Sturmpanzer 2, although the fire from my platoon mate likely would have killed it if the Sturmpanzer hadn't fired. And now we're just talking to platoon mate in the M5 Stuart, who's pointing out there's a Sentinel and an M8A1 that are kind of trapped in that bottom side of the map, and he's asking if I can get shots into them. So we're just going to move our aim over here and see if the M8 or the Sentinel get spotted and pop up again, and then try and take a stab at them. Of course, with those two rocks being there that they're both hiding behind, trying to hit a shot with artillery is going to be difficult because you have a very narrow shell arc for that point, so you're pretty much just firing it almost direct fire by the time it reaches towards the end of its arc. So you can't do too much about lobbing shots over over solid cover like that from long distance. We're just going to see if the Sentinel gets spotted again as he pops up, because he is the easier shot, and there he is. We're going to quickly throw the gun back, fire, and he very kindly reverses into the shot, so that's the Sentinel taken out. M5 Stuart is backing up, because there's no point in him being there, because we're just wasting a usage of M5 Stuart that could be better served being elsewhere on the map. This game has now become quite a bit of a stalemate. I'm going to take a blind fire shot there at the M8, but the fact the shell goes off suggests that at most all I've done is splashed him there and it wasn't a direct hit, as I'm pretty sure that a direct hit on the tank would have likely destroyed it in one shot. So we can see the OI has come back, and he's once again being fired upon by both the tank destroyers that are back there. I'm going to take a really poorly aimed pod to this T28, but the shot goes long and misses, so no damage on the T28. He's going to retreat. He's realised a bad deal when he sees one, but unfortunately now the OI is trapped in that corner. My DW2 is now telling me that he's being fired upon by Lux, which he can't see, but it's off to this left-hand side of the map. So I'm going to look round and see if I can see any tracer rounds like appearing from anywhere, or if he gets spotted in one of the bushes when he fires. You see blind fire going in there from the Stewart into the bushes that he's likely to be sat in. I'm desperately trying to get my friend in the platoon to actually ping the map or tell me where he is via landmark, because of course it's very hard to hit a target in a place like this when you know it's just off to the left hand side of the map but you can't see it. But it turns out he's going to be reasonably near where he was last spotted, but his last spotted location is quite old for Water Tank's gameplay time standards, so I'm just going to take a punt at this bush here because that's where I think he would be, considering where my teammate's saying that he's been shot from. And the fact we don't see that shot go off indicates that was a direct hit, so he was in fact right where that shell came down, so he was sat in the bushes back there. So I'm zooming in again to see if I can get another shot in, and then he gets spotted, and we can see that he's missing just shy of half his health, so he was most certainly hit by the first shot. And the second one hits him as well. That takes his tracks off, leaves him on 27 hit points. So now T-67 can go around the corner and rush him to finish him off. Bit of a bad trade for the T-67 having to give up almost all of his health for that single kill, but kill's a kill, so certainly won't complain. That Lux gun is can be quite dangerous, 30mm autocannon, so it's worth taking out. Now I'm going to move up a bit because I'm aware that that flank has been open for quite a while and the M8A1 could have pushed up, so I'm going to try and give myself some solid cover so that I'm unlikely to be spotted should he make up a position up on the hill off to my right hand side. But also trying to get somewhere where I can still provide fire support for the team on the far side of the hill and in towards the enemy base. So yeah, I'm just being a bit tentative about moving up because I'm expecting that M8A1 to actually be right in front of me at this moment in time. However, you can see my M5 Stewart platoon-mate there just got shot and was being fired at. So he's been spotted, and he's telling me it's the T-67 that spotted him, and that the T-67 is what was shot at him, and also artillery took a pretty, I'd say, probably a pretty snap shot at him. I don't think that would have been an aimed shot from artillery, but of course I can't be sure. Now I'm just panning the camera along on that side of the map to see if we can see any fire coming from their side of the map, any tracers or any shells coming this way. There's sometimes that you can see those on these, particularly these quite wide angle shots, and especially at an angle like that using the G key on artillery you can often see tracers, sometimes even from regular tanks and not just other artillery firing. So right now I'm just looking around at the usual spots that people tend to camp and the usual bushes that are occupied on that side of the map when people are defending the base, and we're going to start taking some blind fire shots here to try and put some pressure on them. Starting with the closest bushes first. Watching platoon mate gets destroyed by the M5 Stewart, but he pings this sector of the map just here, and this is a well-known location for tank destroyers to sit, as these two bushes by the rock, and also on the left-hand side as well. So we're lining up for the next shot to go down here. There we go, shots out. And that one doesn't hit behind the bush, so we're going to wait for a reload, and we're going to keep aiming in, and we're going to send some more shells down here. We saw the tracers just there appear from the back side of this bush, which means that there is artillery sat back here, so this shot is definitely going in the same location. Round out, and a direct hit, Pz.Sfl.IVb taken out on the enemy team. So there's one of their two artillery taken out the game. And now we're going to take a shot on the left hand side of this rock, since we fired two at the right hand side, and we know that the tank that was there we've destroyed. And that explosion right where I wanted the shell to land tells me that there's nothing using those bushes for concealment at the moment to spot targets. So just going to keep looking around, looking for the other potential locations. I'm going to fire one into the mid bush just there, but that doesn't hit anything. So we know we've not got anything tanks that are sitting there. And that M8A1 on the enemy team has just taken out a Pz.Sfl.IVb in the meantime, so we know that the M8A1 has certainly moved up, definitely onto that middle island to a spot of the Pz.Sfl.IVb from where he was last sat. And I'm now going to take another speculative shot at a bush that I know artillery likes to sit in, but also could be being used by their tank destroyers. Just looking back there at the moment, because I know that my DB2 mate is being shot at, and then he tells me that he's killed, and he tells me from where the round came from, so we're going to look back towards beyond this bush somewhere. See the Sternpanzer's blind firing, but he doesn't quite hit where I'd go for. The shot goes away there. And there we are, direct hit on the M37, which takes the second artillery piece out of the game. So the stalemate continues. It's an 11 kills for us and 10 kills for the enemy team, so we've got 5 tanks left and they have 4. They've got the M8A1 still on the This side of the map, somewhere near me, has been spotted for a long time, so I'm quite concerned that my position is going to be compromised anytime soon. But I know there's no way that I'm going to be able to outrun or escape from an M8A1 if it advances on me, so I might as well just sit here and make use of the gun while I can. Which is the discussion I'm having with my two guys in the Discord voice chat that were in my platoon. Although they're out of the game, they are still spectating, and I'm still trying to see if I can have any more influence in this game before I'm inevitably taken out, because I don't expect to be alive for that much longer. I'm hoping that I can kill either the T-67 or perhaps the remaining Lux that's left alive, as those are two quite high value targets to be able to remove from the game. But at the moment, with the team not really moving up all that much, we're going to be able to only take blind fire shots really for now. And that one goes off, so I know the horn is sat there. So I'm just looking for all the potential bushes that enemy tanks might be sat in, because we know they're defending the base, you know, all except the M8A1. We can only assume that the other three tanks are still at their base, so I'm just going to start working my way along what I think is the most likely positions for them to be sat to be using concealment. The map is pinged there by DB2, which is telling me roughly where he thinks the last defenders are, what line they are, what area that they're in. Now T-67, it's affirmative, and he's asking for help because he's pushing up to try and get spots for us. So I'm just going to hold my fire for now and see if the T-67 moves up far enough to spot anything. Put a shot into the bushes right in front of him, so we know we can try and clear his way as he advances. And there's nothing in those bushes, so he's certainly not going to get immediately spotted the moment he breaks cover from behind the buildings. And now we're using the G key again to swap artillery view, because I personally find this one's a lot better. Taking a couple of shots into those back bushes there, because we know artillery likes to sit in those quite a lot, but in this case the T-67 could be sat in those bushes, or even the M8 might have retreated back to defend the base. We don't know, we haven't seen him in a long time. And there's both the Lux and the T-67 spotted. They take out our T-67 who rushed up to spot them. And I'm trying to get shots in on either of them, or even both of them at this moment in time. T-67 first, because he's the most dangerous tank. Tier 5 tank destroyer with a turret. In my opinion, that's the most dangerous vehicle, more dangerous than the Lux to our team. He gets spotted again, he's trying to relocate. He gets hit on the move. Takes off a third of his health, and we're just trying to aim up our next shot. And there we go. That was a nice hit. Takes him out. 240 hit points. T-67 removed from the game. But now is when I spot an AMX-40, so my time is up. And then the M8A1 is on the hill and is firing a PCR into me, so there's nothing I can do about this, and I'm taking out the game. Unfortunately from here the team goes on to lose. The M8A1 up there and the MX-40 do cap out our base, and no one is able to reset. So that's all that I could manage in this artillery piece in this game. But yeah, as usual guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.